Good evening, welcome to the February 24th Select Board meeting for the town of East Bridgewater. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all.
I did.
We're going to go right to the 5:30 appointment. We'll do open forum afterwards. We now have the town clerk who's going to do some swearing at the people.
Hello, so I'm going to present Philip Wolf, who was promoted to captain yesterday. Phil's a over 20-year veteran of the department. He's served for lieutenant for at least the last 8 years. Integral part of the organization. So, Captain Wolf.
Do you solemnly swear that you will faithfully and perform all the duties incumbent upon you as a duly appointed captain in and for the town of East Bridgewater, and in accordance with the rules and regulations of East Bridgewater Fire Department, the bylaws of the town of East Bridgewater, and the laws of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts?
I do.
I'm going to have you go ahead and sign your certificate.
Yes.
This March will be 10 years that he's been lieutenant.
Time flies.
Right up there.
Yeah, right.
This is actually for you.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Congratulations. Appreciate it. Michael Rosa. Michael Rosa's been on he just graduated academy a couple weeks back. Sorry for the paramedic.
Yes, the smile.
Joke? Make a joke?
No.
Okay.
Took the job description.
Yes, and same thing. At the end, you just say I do.
Got it.
Do you solemnly swear that you will faithfully perform all the duties incumbent upon you as a duly appointed firefighter and in the town and for the town of East Bridgewater, and in the accordance with the rules and regulations of East Bridgewater Fire Department, the bylaws of the town of East Bridgewater, and the laws of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts?
I do.
Okay, I did you. Good. You get this. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And Peter Lee. Peter joined us in October of 2024. He's currently in paramedic school and got a whole career ahead of him.
He knows how to smile.
Try.
So, do you solemnly swear that you will faithfully perform all the duties incumbent upon you as a duly appointed firefighter in and for the town of East Bridgewater, and in accordance with the rules and regulations of the East Bridgewater Fire Department, the bylaws of the town of East Bridgewater, and the laws of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts?
I do.
Same thing.
Yeah. You can, like,
And there's yours, and this is for you. Congratulations.
cap in the middle and right in front of the flag if you wouldn't.
Do you want to get in there?
I've been in enough pictures throughout the years.
I just keep sliding towards David every time.
You're going to be talking.
You'll be in your lap at the minute.
Congratulations,
Chief, you have any more words of wisdom for us?
I do not.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time.
Well, congratulations all. We wish you a long and happy career with the town of East Bridgewater. I'm not going to ask you to recite the rules and regulations or the bylaws for the town of East Bridgewater this evening, but you might want to catch up to them in case I see you out there.
Congratulations, everybody. I think this is great. It's nice to see new young faces on the department and also to honor Captain Wolf. Seems like you were just a Boy Scout.
Still is in heart.
Absolutely. Yep, congratulations to all. Chief, thank you as always. People that we can trust in and protect town of East Bridgewater. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, thank you all. We're gonna move on now.
We couldn't continue the rest of the meeting, but then got back to the 6:05.
Yes,
Yeah, we can go down to
Can you
the,
give me 2 minutes then?
yeah.
Didn't know if we were taking a recess or not.
no,
Okay.
Talk amongst yourselves.
I guess we're in a time delay.
Well, that gives you all a chance to leave.
Right.
Nobody wants
I know, I was gonna say, feel free to.
There go the ratings.
Peter, great name. Thank you very much. Congratulations. Go ahead and leave. Real talk.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
Chief said he was gonna put the flag back.
Oh, he didn't even do it. Careful of the bottom mic.
Below my pistol. Or above it, I'm not sure which.
I got a call.
One person. Need more. You need at least one more person. At least one more person to
And we were at Cardi's yesterday looking at beds,
The other one.
and the person we talked to,
We're gonna continue.
Moving on.
no, it's all public.
Anyone here for open forum portion of the meeting? That's you.
I'm back. I'm just gonna update you guys on where we're at for people pulling nomination papers. So we've had one person pull for select board, one person has pulled for assessors. We've only had one person pull for school committee, and we do have 2 positions open. Library trustees, we've only had one person pull, and we also have 2 positions open. We've had nobody pull for Board of Health, and Planning Board, we actually have 3 people that have pulled and only 2 positions. And then for Housing Authority, we have a vacant position. Somebody had to step down because they moved out of town. So that is a 1-year position, but we have not had anybody pull for that yet either. So we are still looking for candidates. You can pull your nomination papers, I think it's,
Wednesday.
Like this week?
yeah, you can pull for the rest of, I think
Is it March or February?
it's March.
Okay.
It's March,
Yeah.
isn't it?
20, that's where I was getting, the 26th and 28th of March.
I just thought you were like, come and get your nomination papers tomorrow
Right.
or Wednesday. That would be good. Yeah, so if anybody is interested, if they have any questions and they'd like to talk to somebody, I'm always available. I am also elected, so I know the process as you guys are elected. So if there's any questions, please feel free to contact my office. And it would be wonderful if we could have the slots filled versus a write-in campaign, which can get difficult. And it doesn't always have the outcome that people hope that it will. So, yeah, that's it. Do you guys have any questions? Nope.
I would just encourage people to, like, if they have interest, to reach out to someone currently serving. Talk to
Absolutely.
someone on the school committee, talk to someone on the Board of Health, talk to someone, you know, and see, or talk to one of us. We have a pretty good, you know,
Yep.
understanding of the various committees and roles people play.
We do?
Yeah.
You've got some free time. Don't you want to run for
Yeah, you
school
should
committee
run.
now?
Right.
I'll vote for you.
I don't know. about that.
I'll do it right.
Careful, we,
Yeah.
Peter and I could mount that campaign for you.
Yeah, that could actually happen. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Kate.
Thanks, Kate.
All right, we're gonna move along to our action items.
All right,
Let's move right into action item number 3.
okay.
Is that me? I'm number 3.
That's you, number 3. Come on down.
Bingo.
Welcome.
Do you have bananas today?
I have banana, oh no, I don't. They go bad so fast.
Yes. I make a motion that we approve the common victualers license for We Are Bananas Jessica Moscardelli, manager.
Second.
Discussion. Jessica, tell us about what you're doing over there.
So We Are Bananas was founded to support early education, so it's part of the child care center that is there. So the original, I founded it so that the money could go back to the school to support enrichment programs and support the teachers' wages. So it's smoothies, acai bowls, everything is pre-cooked. We're just either heating or making everything. And we have like a walk-up window Monday through Friday for the general public to, again, help support the childcare. And then nobody's allowed in the building Monday through Friday because of the childcare. And then on weekends, I just have it open from 8 to 12:30, just for a small period of time to open it to the community so that the kids can play. It has like a indoor gym that is actually the daycares, but the way I designed it was like a door open so the kids can play in the gym and the parents can get coffees and smoothies and all the things. And that's like the biggest hit, really, is the community and the parents just really being able to enjoy it with small children and come there. And then on Sundays, it's open for birthday parties privately.
Great. Very good. Peter?
Yeah, no, I've been there, know it, love it, great. Yep, Jessica does a really good job. Building really came out wonderful from where she started, right, to where it is now.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I haven't been yet, but it comes highly recommended, so
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to trying it.
Nice, thank you.
Good job, Jessica.
Thanks.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Are we still pending a business
Yes.
certificate, or is that, okay, so do we need to?
Yeah.
Contingent
That-
upon, yeah.
Yeah.
So I make a motion to approve pending the business certificate.
yep, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it?
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right, that was easy. I'm
Yeah.
sweating. This is so official.
We try not to be too intimidating.
I can go?
Yep, you're gone.
No, you have to stay
You're
until we
free to
vote.
leave.
It's like the principal's office. All right, you ready to go back
Yes.
to order? Okay. I make a motion to approve the minutes of the February 10th, 2025 Select Board meeting.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
I make a motion to approve but not release the minutes of the February 10th, 2025 Select Board's executive session meeting.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye. I make a motion to approve the Southeastern Regional Service Group DPW Supplies Contract Award Sheet commencing March 1st, 2025 for a 12-month period.
Second.
Any discussion? We've been doing this for a long time, I believe. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I make a motion that we discuss a request from School Business Administrator John Shea to donate a 2009 Chevrolet Express van to the Berwick Boys Foundation in West Bridgewater.
Second.
Any discussion on that? Totally legal over there, no problem with it?
No, we have a
Title and-
policy for dealing with surplus property under, value under a certain amount, and this follows that policy.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye. Review and vote on workplace prevention, violence prevention, and weapons-free policy.
I mean, second, we'll discuss first, I guess, right?
So, the state had implemented, or not implemented, but there's now an actual statute restricting firearms on municipal property. There are a couple exceptions, particularly dealing with police officers, but in the vast majority of cases, whether you're an employee or a visitor, you're not allowed to carry on town property at this point. That was always, it was, I believe, true for schools, but now it's expanded for other municipal buildings and other municipal property. Rebecca and I checked back on the other part of it, sort of the workplace violence section of it. It looks like there was an attempt, but there had been some discussion maybe about 5 years ago about implementing a separate policy along those lines. There's no evidence that was ever approved. There were drafts floating around from then. And what this does is integrate the elements of that into a larger policy that combines both the weapons-free policy and the workplace violence prevention policy. We're in contact with town council to go over in case employees have any, or any of the unions have any questions. But this applies to everyone. Union, non-union, doesn't matter in terms of the employees.
Okay. Peter?
And it's not something that we
Sounds
can
great.
override in the sense of, whether it's East Bridgewater or any other community can say, no, we're gonna ignore this. It's a state statute. It's not an option.
Mm-hmm. Good.
After you leave your weapon outside?
Yeah, I'll leave it home, apparently, right? Go shoot
Yeah, I
it.
said, I've read it, it looks like it covers everything we can possibly talk about. Right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Discussion on adopting the HERO Act.
It was Paul gonna come in?
Chris, Paul, I don't know. Paul Cannell?
I don't- Can we skip that for a moment?
Yep.
No, you know.
Okay, well, the HERO
This
Act,
is in his office.
no, this is going to be more in assessing.
Oh, Paula.
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 Do you want me to go check with her?
Sure.
All right, I'll go
I'll
check.
move on to the next one.
Yeah, because we'd want to know what the,
Yeah.
I mean, we know there'll be an impact
Right.
to the,
Yeah.
to the towns.
Fire chief recruitment update and department continuity. Two different elements here. One, we did get about 20 applications in. Rebecca and myself met with Jack Perro to narrow down the list. We had selected 6 people for the assessment center. 1 dropped out, so we're now down to 5. The assessment center will occur here at Town Hall this coming Friday, most of the day. We're doing the meet and greet with you all in the middle of the day. So, we'll get everything set up, the rooms as necessary, and we are providing lunch for the participants, both of the assessment center chiefs and the candidates and such. So things are, at least are moving forward along the lines of what we wanted to do. The plan would be soon after, probably either that day or on Monday following, Jack would contact Rebecca and myself to show the rankings for the candidates and indicate who the assessment center team felt were candidates that should move on to the final round of interviews. The board would then hold a final round. I just don't know whether you all would want to try and do that on March 10th. You have a regular meeting then, or you'd want to set a special date that week, either the week of the 3rd or the week of the 10th. I mean, it should be something like March 4th, mostly because we won't have time to post, but also we want to give at least some notice to the candidates, of a date when they would want to come in. I don't know what your interest is, whether they're doing that on the 10th or some other date. We'd probably do, let's assume 3 candidates. We'll assume at least a half an hour per interview. And we would, I think we've talked to Jack about, did we get the questions to them yet?
I don't think so.
Okay, so the idea would be you'd have the questions in advance. If there were other questions you wanted to have asked as part of the interview process, we'd work with Jack to integrate those. We think probably the easiest thing is for Jack to do the questions, sort of like when you did the town administrator interviews. And, obviously you would be here and you could take notes and everything like that, but you wouldn't have to worry about who's going to ask which question or anything like that. And you could ask follow-up questions, certainly. But do you have any preference between the 10th or some other date?
Could we do it on the 10th, like do it earlier, like,
I might have a conflict on the 10th,
okay,
the whole day.
okay.
Maybe we could either move our meeting to the next day or do it the
I
week.
can't meet the
during
11th.
the week.
The 12th is, I believe, I mean, not that I have to be there, the 12th is the residences at Meadowbrook hearing.
And I can't do the 12th.
We do it the week before?
Should be closer to the end of the week if
Right.
that's the case.
I can do Friday. Could we do like that Friday morning?
Yeah,
Is that bad? Like, do people think like we're trying to do it at a weird time if we do it then?
Well,
We're
we're
open.
hosting it every.
I know, but you know, people, whatever.
If the assessment's going on during the morning, afternoons.
Well, it's not.
That's
public,
not
but
open
it-
to the public. Our interview is open to the public. That would be my
Oh.
own.
So Friday the 14th, so we're looking at
I would thought the 7th.
7th,
Friday the 7th, so next Friday.
Yeah,
Correct.
week from Friday.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll be back. I'll be out of town till Wednesday, but I'll be back Friday.
Okay. But we'll still
But-
meet on the 10th, just
Right,
not
well,
without you.
regular business. And in fact, what you could do is that make it convenient if you have the interviews on the 7th, you'd have the weekend to consider and not have to make a decision immediately that day. But do it in the morning, 9 o'clock for a start.
Yeah, that will give us, you know,
Let Rebecca and I can talk with Jack and make sure.
Yes,
I mean,
that's,
A, it works with his schedule, but also whether he thinks it works, whoever the candidates are, that it's,
It's good for me. Just let me know.
okay. In connection with that, obviously, given the dates and everything, we will not have someone come on board immediately following the Chief Harden's retirement. So we need to have an interim chief. Rebecca and I had talked to Craig. Craig, while he's happy to act as deputy, for instance, the chief was on vacation earlier this month, and, be the deputy and do those things, he's not interested in serving as an interim. And we might be looking at 3 or 4 weeks between the chief leaving and somebody coming in. What Jack has suggested or proposed is that he has a slate of people who are available to fill in as interim chiefs. One is Chief Nord, who was, Duxbury? Yes, Duxbury, just retired, and is willing and able and available to do that if the board was interested. You don't have to make a decision tonight about that.
Yeah,
But
that's
if,
fine.
but if that was something you would all be
Guys,
interested,
just keep the seat warm, for Christ's sake.
Yeah. if it's something you'd be interested in doing, we can,
Anything could happen.
Right, that's true.
It would also be good for transition,
Yeah.
like he would do a lot of, like more of the administrative end of it.
Yep.
And so with a new person coming in, he would be able to, it would be a smoother transition if somebody was in like
Everything
that,
would be
in a place
all
like that.
up to date.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds like a
Yeah, good.
good
Does
plan.
that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right,
then-
great.
bring them in.
Okay.
Bring in whoever it is.
Okay. Is Paula here?
No.
Oh, okay, so we'll go back to the HERO Act.
Okay.
The HERO Act is another state statute that is optional for the town. The town would have to approve this at town meeting. I believe it deals both with motor vehicle excise and also real estate excise, if I remember correctly. And I believe it, is Chris aware? Chris knows about it.
Yeah, he's here.
Okay.
Do you need him?
Yeah,
Okay.
somebody,
I'm like, he must have been watching because he was like, do you need me?
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Chris, go ahead. But if I remember right, his connection with what if certain levels of disability for the veteran who's returned. And that, there's a certain cost for the town in the sense that we would have to increase the annual fund for abatements and exemptions. And certainly not in opposition of it, but again, it's a policy choice in the sense of, in essence, we're saying we're gonna spend money on this because we're not going to get the money in that we would normally expect it. So it might be $40,000 or $50,000. I'd have to get an approximation from Paula. So it would have a material effect on the budget. Again, town meeting would make the decision, not me, not Paula, not Chris, not you all, but it would be up to the board to make the decision to put the article on a town meeting.
Could we get a approximate figure
Yeah, we can get
before
that.
we make a vote on this?
He's coming.
Okay.
And the reason it came up is I was approached by someone who lives in town who asked us to please put this on for town, asked if the town was going to adopt it, and then I talked to Charlie, and he said this was the process, so
So,
that's how it first
just,
came up.
we went over the basics. The exemption goes, I believe, for both for motor vehicle and for real estate. We'd have to increase the overlay for abatements and exemptions. The level of the exemptions somewhat dependent on the disability, level of disability.
Yes.
Right.
So the excise tax is 100%. If you're 10 to 90, there is nothing on the excise tax. That's where it kind of differs.
Explain 10 to 90.
So 10%, if a veteran is 10% service connected through the VA to 90, prior to the HERO Act, the state floor was 400, and we were at 650. After the HERO Act, we would go from 650 to 800 if we adopted it.
This is for the motor vehicle?
That is for the tax abatement
Okay,
on the property tax.
Right, okay.
And then 100% was prior to state floor was 1,000. Again, we were at 1,500. If we adopt, it would go from 1,500 to 2,000. And then that's how it would look on the property tax. There is another line on there that we could attach it to COLA moving forward. So this next year would be, for 10 to 90, would be 800. And then next year, COLA is usually 2 to 3%, roughly, somewhere in the middle. It would be 800 plus the COLA moving forward annually. And then the 100% would be 2,000, attach that to COLA, whatever that would come out to moving forward. This way, it bumps up. Just to give everybody a little history on it, it has been a long time since they have bumped any of this up. If we do attach it to COLA, now it's moving up and it's going to continue to move up, and we don't ever have to go back to the table and ask for any. That's the way the state was looking at it when they put it in the bill.
And what, are you trying to get this on the agenda for this coming town meeting, for the?
Yes.
Yes,
okay.
yes,
So effective for the fiscal '26 tax bills.
Sounds good to me.
And
I said I have absolutely no problem with it at all, obviously.
Mhm.
I'd just like to see the figures.
Yeah, it'd be good to know the impact to the.
I do want to preface this. I've talked to Paula. I haven't talked numbers with Paula. Just going off the list that I've seen, that probably isn't the latest and greatest as of this moment, but it was roughly between 5 and 6 grand for the 10 to 90. Or I'm sorry, as I was. It was roughly 5 or 6 for the COLA increase. And then it was 35 to 40 for the double, for the completing of the double. I apologize for that.
And I'll talk to, what I'll do is I'll talk to Paula again,
Mhm.
see if we can refine the figure at all.
Oh, definitely, and we'll definitely refine that. And Charlie, if you could just assist, this is the first time I've put something in, I want to make sure I,
Yeah.
cross my Ts and dot my Is and stuff.
Right.
Great.
So,
So we've
Okay.
got time,
Yeah.
anyways.
Okay, we'll bring that up again.
Great.
Okay, thanks, Chris.
you.
I got one more thing. Just happened to, I emailed it to you shortly, or earlier. It just so happens that the state rolled out a new interface and database with our VA claim system, affecting the entire state. Here in East Bridgewater, it's a small problem. What's going to happen here is anybody who comes in this week to do a claim, we're really going to push probably a week to 10 days out. Anybody else that calls, we're going to have to schedule it further in March, just because there's no way to actually put the claim in. The interface is that bad. So there will be there's big state issues with this here in East Bridgewater. Small problem, but still wanted to, since I was here, figure I'd bring it up to you. So,
Well, have fun with that.
yeah, exactly.
You
So
told me
Nelson
about that earlier.
and Claudia are versed on it, along with myself. We got a plan, so all good. All right?
Right, thanks.
Appreciate it.
Chris?
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. That's it for action items.
Thank you.
Well, if we want to do announcements, and then we got the 6:05.
Yeah.
Do we have any announcements?
I do not.
Lee?
I do not. Sorry, you need 4 minutes worth of announcements.
Could you make some up?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess, the lunchroom, the lounge, whatever you want to call it, break room.
Don't call it the lounge.
The lounge doesn't sound good. It sounds like you'd be
Happy hours from 4 to
serving
6.
martinis up there.
4:30, yeah.
It looks amazing. Brian did a great job putting it all together. We have a couple tables in there, the refrigerator, sink, so we can wash the dishes.
Mirror ball.
But no. Yeah, but it looks great. So yeah, anybody that
They
wants to
took
come
away
and
our water
look at it.
cooler down here and put it upstairs.
Yeah, we moved our water cooler downstairs to upstairs so we can.
There is a water fountain right over there.
Yeah, we're trying to consolidate things in everyone's
Is
offices.
that bubbler?
Yeah.
We don't
Rebecca
use
told
bubblers
me-
since
Rebecca
COVID.
told me not to use that.
Yeah, we don't use bubblers anymore.
Although that one's filtered, I think.
Yeah, and it's also, it's not, you don't.
You fill your water bottle.
Yes,
You don't have to touch anything, really.
it's a no touch.
Yeah.
We'll be donating cases of water, I think.
The electricity has been installed on the electronic sign. So we have a training coming up the first week in March
Great.
on how to use it. So we will be thinking about putting together some sort of policy
Yeah.
for usage before it goes live. But yeah, that's exciting too. So
Great.
yeah, a couple exciting things going on.
Are people using the break room?
It literally just got finished today.
Oh, okay.
I went up there, I made myself a
Have
cup
like a
of tea.
ribbon cutting and, cake.
We were thinking
Well, we were
about,
thinking that, but the
We
only,
should have cake.
yeah, go ahead.
what's the joke, come on.
He's like, so we don't have to buy like a red ribbon. The only like tape that we have around here is like caution tape. So do we put caution tape up and cut it? I don't know.
Do not cross.
Right, exactly, yeah.
As long as there's no outline on the floor.
No.
But we'll work on that. That was an added expense.
That's great.
Anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so. No.
Thank you. I think we can officially move on to our 6:05 appointment.
Right here. Come to the
You
table,
can
sir.
come on up. If you could just state your name and address, please.
Madam Chair, if you want to just read this.
Tom Benby.
Sure.
No longer an East Bridgewater resident, but I did live here on Sachem Rock for almost 40 years. But I'm here once again to talk about the Albert Sikosha Memorial. He was a police officer killed in the line of duty on September 30th, 1966. And the East Bridgewater residents barely know anything about him, which I think is something that needs to be changed. So if I may, after the last meeting, I met with the Historical Commission, because their original proposal was to put it on a town common. I want to say that we live in one of the most historic districts in the entire country, and we should be happy as a historical commission trying to preserve our heritage. So with that in mind, I did get feedback, but it's important not where it goes, that it goes somewhere. So if it can't go on the common, that's fine. They had perfectly logical reasons why they would like to preserve the common as it is, so we have to respect that, and we'll move on. So we met with our committee, and I discussed it with Chief Jenkins, and would like to place it on the town hall property to the right of the town hall, so it's overlooking the police station. I did get feedback that said maybe we should put it down at the police station, but not a lot of people go down on the police station, and it's not something that would be seen. And I really think, in my heart, that this is an important memorial for somebody who had school-aged children when he passed away defending our freedoms in this country, in this town. So I did have a map of the location. Chief Jenkins thought it was a great idea to put there, and would like to propose that. And I was also told you had to vote on the ceremony for May 17th, which I have not sent out any invitations or started a fundraiser yet, because I don't want to start something prematurely. So I did fill out the application. I did go to the DPW and the fire station, and they said that they fill out their part after you vote. So here I am today, and May 17th will be here before you know it. And again, the idea is we have invitations going out to every single law enforcement branch, sheriff's department, state police, regular police, asking for a representative to come. The hope is that we could use the town hall parking lot and a piece of the street closed at the common for police vehicles only, to have a real showing of force there. And hopefully we'll get as many townspeople as possible. And hopefully we'll get the word out that Albert Sakosha was a member of East Bridgewater. He helped form Little League. He's formed youth football, and both are still going strong. And his memory should not be forgotten. And I know some of his children will be coming here that day. They've already made arrangements. And at the end of the ceremony, the commercial club is going to host a reception for the people that show up. So he was also an active member of the commercial club. So it's time. 1966, it's time.
Absolutely. Carol?
So where this red star is on the map
Yes.
is, so it's not near, it's not like right next to the 9/11 memorial,
No.
it's to the other side of the
Correct.
tree?
Yep,
Okay.
yep. We wanted it to be kind of like a standalone.
How big is this memorial?
It is 6 feet long and about 4 feet high. I did have a drawing of it. There's 3 stones. We didn't want it to look like a tombstone. You know, so there's 3 stones, one saying thank you from the town of East Bridgewater.
My turn?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think it's a great idea, right? Well overdue. My only concern would be just thinking ahead. I love the idea of it being, you know, directly from where the police station is. But what I hope to see at some point is we're going to have a new safety building.
Right, I
A
heard that.
committee. Is this something that would be able to?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
yeah, there'll be a cement base.
Okay.
And then it sits on top of the cement base, so if you have a new public safety building, it could be
It
moved.
could be moved there. Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
Just-
I talked to John Haynes about that over the weekend, and, you know, he said, yeah, it will be set, so it could be easily moved to a new location.
Good.
When we get a safety building.
Yeah, because that would, you know, the idea is obviously, as you just stated, to have it, you know, somewhere located close to where the police station is. And if we do have a brand-new building at some point, which, you know, hope comes to fruition, it would be great to have this piece
Okay.
there as well. Sure.
Great job, Tom.
And I thought I saw 11 to 2. Do you think the ceremony's not gonna be 3 hours long? That's just the amount of time you
Right.
think you'll
I-
need for like
when you put
setup
the time
and
down,
take down?
I'm used to school events when, you know, you gotta give the people an hour ahead
Okay.
and an hour after. So the ceremony itself shouldn't be more than an hour and a half.
Okay,
You know, and then, but, you know, between the cleanup and the setup and
Yep.
stuff like that, that's why I put the times there.
okay.
Okay.
All right, I'm good.
Great job. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
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 And that's both for the monument
Monument.
and for the event.
Do you want me to read it as an official motion? Do you want
Yeah,
me to-
why
okay.
don't you?
I make a motion to approve the location and design of a memorial at Town Hall and to approve the request from Tom Benby for the use of the town common and Town Hall parking lot for Officer Sakosha Memorial dedication on May 17th, 2025, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., set up at 9 a.m.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Tom, you're
thank
all
you very
set.
much. I'll start the fundraising tonight, so
Good luck.
Okay,
hopefully we can get it all done and it'll be a great day, so
Do
thank
you have
you.
an estimated cost right now?
The memorial itself is $13,000, you know, for everything. Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna be quite that much, but, you know, the material we picked and everything,
Yeah, yeah.
that's what I came to, but it's a small price, I guess, in the long
Right.
run.
Sure.
right,
Thank you.
all right,
Okay.
thanks.
Thank you very much.
On to you, Charlie.
We had talked about the Municipal Empowerment Act a couple weeks ago. One of the elements of that is changes in the open meeting law to permanently allow for remote public meetings. I think the MMA is concerned that setting aside pros and cons of the entire Empowerment Act, the legislature is not going to make a decision about that for a number of months.
Yes.
They would like, however, there's separate legislation to enable on a permanent basis the remote meeting system that we have allowed, we're not required to, but allowed to have. And so they are looking for letters of support to our legislators about that particular topic. That would be separate bills from the Municipal Empowerment Act.
Carol?
I think it's a really important idea that particularly as someone who works full-time and sometimes has to, zoom in, or, we're looking at trying to get people to run for office, and if we're struggling to get people to make commitments, this is a way that makes that a little bit easier for people. We all lead busy lives, and we might as well use it. I mean, do I think it's great? No. I'm on the MMA board now, and our meetings are 100% remote, and no, you do not get the same interaction that you get in person, but it's sort of.
Get people to show up.
Yeah, exactly.
And again, it's an option, it doesn't mean.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, in certain instances, remote really works well. OCPC meetings, I don't know how you would have them without the, thinking back to when, they used to have to be there versus now where you can come from, because they're coming from all over the place. In certain instances, yeah, it works out, I think, extremely well, and it's very beneficial. And in other areas, to your point, you'd rather see the person and be with them, especially in a smaller setting and things like that, but hopefully they work that out.
I think we can do it, I just don't think it should be an automatic.
And it isn't.
Yeah, right.
Right.
Case by case.
Okay.
So I will do that. I will send letters of
Yes.
support to our legislators.
Yes, that we support.
MBTA community zoning. I was going to give one update. I'm going to actually almost give two. I've been working with OCPC and Kevin and Roy. We are going to get technical assistance from Mass Housing Partnership, which will then help fund technical assistance through OCPC to work with Kevin, Roy, and everybody else here in East Bridgewater on doing some more public interaction during the next few months on the proposed district, the MBTA zoning. That will be and we'll eventually get to the May 12th town meeting. There was an interesting note on Friday in that the state auditor's office, Methuen, had written to them asking whether this was an unfunded mandate. And the auditor's office has made a determination that it is. There's a couple of, not asterisks, but you have to add things to this in that simply because it's an unfunded mandate does not mean the law is invalid. It means simply it's an unfunded mandate. It's a mandate, the state has not come up with the money. They'll have to get a determination as to how much it costs, but the letter from the auditor's office said nothing about the cost of, the impact of actually building anything if anything ever got built. It was all the administrative costs of coming up with new zoning legislation to go to the cities and towns. For instance, they recognized the fact that the state had done technical assistance programs for cities and towns within the 177 to assist in writing up legislation and to do the public interaction forums and everything like that. Nothing about, okay, if you build a certain number of units of housing, it has this impact on your highway system and water, police and fire and library and whatever else. It was just on this. So we need to, the law's still there, we still need to be in compliance. Having said that, if for some reason we went to the state and said, you owe us a certain amount of money because we spent this money, let's say on Chris Kenny reviewing the potential bylaws, that you need to give that to us. And if they decide, no, we're not going to give it to you, we could then go to the Superior Court and say, Superior Court, the auditor's office has said this is unfunded mandate. We've done what we're supposed to do, which is go to the state and say it costs us this much money. They won't come up with the money. We want an exemption from the law. The law still stands, but because it's an unfunded mandate, they didn't give us the money to cover the expenses, we want to be exempted. But we couldn't do that until we worked out how much money actually it was. So we're at that. We have to continue to move this forward. And still, I believe, even as an unfunded mandate, the AG's office still has jurisdiction over it and can still force the issue if it came to that. So that's the update for that.
Have we, you with Old Colony and with Roy and Kevin, come up with how we are going to do this communication?
I believe this sitting in my email queue from the last hour. I have an email from Jason DeRozier from OCPC about a scope of services for the next 2.5 months.
Okay.
Meeting with committees, obviously, meeting with the, and such, meeting with some outside organizations. For instance, we could meet with the Kiwanis. I talked to
Kiwanis
Dale
is a
about
go.
that.
I get someone to do that.
Meet with the East Bridgewater Business Association, for instance, groups like that. Do at least one public forum or more. Maybe, maybe do a special one during the daytime, for instance, with the Council on Aging or things like that. So yes, but I need to see what Jason wrote to see what the plan of action is going to be.
Your dog and pony show.
I got lots of dogs and lots of ponies. Just depends on which dog, which pony you want. But I'm happy to show them off.
All right. Okay, thanks.
Central School Building Project, speaking of dogs and ponies. The building committee is meeting again tomorrow. We've obviously made a fair amount of progress. I'm not sure that we're going to, there's a good possibility that our schedule is going to be slightly modified in that the state may be indicating that we should be spending more time on public outreach before coming to a decision to send back to the MSBA about grade configurations and locations and such. So I'm sure there'll be a substantial discussion about that tomorrow night, and give you an update once that happens. The Mitchell Middle School, the contract with the OPM was sent to me on Saturday. I signed it today, gave a copy to Gina Williams, Assistant Superintendent, and copy to Melanie. Now need to work with the OPM to get a contract signed with the architect for the schematic design work. Also, I would hope, along with knowing how much it's going to cost to do the schematic design, we'll get an idea of what the timetable would look like and where, because eventually we need to go back to town meeting, both for a vote there, but also the amount's going to be for the actual work that's going to be done is large enough that the only way we're going to do that is via a debt exclusion, separate from obviously the central school. But we're talking the millions of dollars for this roof and windows project. So that's the update for that. And I don't have any other items right now for the board, other than I can give you a very quick brief in executive session on several of the contract negotiations.
Okay. Board discussions, Carol?
Congressman Stephen Lynch is having a virtual town hall tomorrow night. If anybody's interested, I know they were looking for people to say that they were coming, but I'm sure it's something that's available. Rebecca, do you have that email? I can send it to you. And then that way, if anybody's interested and doesn't have the ability to log on, you'd have it.
Yeah, if you want to send
But, we talk about reaching out and talking to your representatives, and this is a way to do that. So that's tomorrow night at 6:30.
Peter?
Nope. Good. Very good.
All right, let's go into executive.
Nothing from you, sir?
I'm good.
All right.
Hey, you only got a few meetings left. You better get it out
I
now.
know, you sure?
I'm saving it.
Oh, that's not good.
Gonna let it, everything go last meeting.
Last meeting, we 3-hour meeting. You just
Can't wait
lost.
till,
At
can't
least.
wait till May.
We'll have sandwiches coming in.
Okay. All right, I make a motion to close open meeting and enter executive session and not return to open session pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A2, to conduct strategy sessions in preparation for negotiations with non-union personnel or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with non-union personnel, health agent, library director, building commissioner, zoning enforcement officer, treasurer collector, director of assessing, IT director, town accountant, town administrator, pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 30A, Section 21A3, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining or litigation if an open meeting may have a detrimental effect on the bargaining or litigating position of the public body, and the chair so declares. Firefighters, superior officers, clerical, DPW, superior officers, patrol officers. Carol Julius, aye.
Dave Sheedy, aye.
Peter Spigot, aye.
Motion to go into executive and not to return. Have a great couple of weeks, folks. We'll see you shortly.